Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get my next guest right out. She is one of our finest actresses who just seems to get better with every film. Will you please welcome the fabulous Julie Walters?
Darling.
Thank you for waiting for this.
No, it's a pleasure.
Julie Walters. Wow.
Thank you.
You take a seat there.
I will.
Lovely. You look fabulous.
Thank you.
Last time I saw you, you hadn't let your hair stay grey. You were still colouring the hair.
I was still colouring it. And there is still a little... Actually, there is a bit of it.
But
bit
it
of
looks
colouring.
fabulous.
Yeah.
It's not dissimilar to Gordon's hair. I mean, he
Yeah.
does...
It's just purely natural.
Oh, well, that's how he says. I don't
Don't
get
you
it.
start.
Does it affect the roles you get, though? Do you get offered different parts now that you're going silver and you...
Well, I've always played old women. I mean,
You have always had those
yeah,
parts
since
of
I was
it,
about
haven't
35. I mean, but now I'm just the right age for them, so it just hasn't really...
You've grown into your kind of, like, performance.
Yeah, I guess I have, really. So, no, but because I've had no face work done, I think I probably get a few more roles than... You know, there are a few more roles open to me than there may be to other people my age.
Is that because they look so weird now? You do see people and they just look... because they don't look younger, they just look tighter,
Sort
don't
of
they?
ironed.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, some people look fabulous, you know, but I don't like... You know, I like being 63, which I am now, and I'm kind of proud that I've got here.
Well, I wanted to ask, because I was thinking... I've always known you on TV. I mean, well, you know, we're not a dissimilar age, but I've always seen you and enjoyed you on television. But I believe you come from the sort of background where that wasn't necessarily a career path that felt open to you. That wasn't kind of...
No, it wasn't.
And you had, like, a proper job for a while, didn't you?
Oh, yes, I was a nurse, but... oh, hello.
There
I am.
Wow, look at you there. Oh, my God.
Oh, it's awful. Stop.
No, you look beautiful. Look at that. Just a young nurse who's really lovely. That's not Victoria in front of you, though, is it?
No, stop. No, she didn't go into the nurse. No.
So you were nursing for a while?
Yeah, I was. It was the casualty in the General Hospital in Birmingham. Right. And I'd been sent down there on a Saturday night because I'd never worked there before. It was
wow, so Saturday night, casualty, Birmingham.
Centre of Birmingham. So it was, anyway, there was a few, all of that drunks and people coming in injured. But in the middle of the night, a man came in with a longish coat on, walking very oddly. He was a sort of, you know... came in like this, and I thought, oh dear, he must have injured his back. So I said, are you coming in, are you all right? He said, I don't want to see you, dear. I want to see a doctor, thank you. I said, right, well, I can arrange that. Well, perhaps you'll see the staff. No, I don't want to see a nurse. I want to see a doctor. So I said, well, come to the cubicle. So I took him in there. I said, do you want to sit? No, I'll stand. So anyway, eventually the doctor came and I was standing there. He said, I'd like the nurse to leave. So I went out. Anyway, it turned out that he had the handle of a fish fryer stuck up his bottom.
Wow. A fish fryer?
A fish fryer. The handle of a fish... He had to go to theatre to have it removed. And the doctor said to him, well, you know, how did this happen? Why? And he said, I had an itch.
Wow.
But there were loads of those.
And so you just thought, OK, this is not for me. And so then was acting something you'd already been doing? Had you been doing, like, Amgram or...?
Only in the mirror, only in the bedroom sort of thing on my own.
And so when you told your mum, that must have been quite a big thing.
Oh, yeah, she went absolutely mad. I knew that she was going to get me. So I got my brothers and my dad to stand in between her and me while I told her. Wow. And I said, you know, I'm going to go, what? She said, you'll be in the gutter before you're 20. She said to me, she's right, I was. I rather enjoyed it. It was a good night, that one. And so that, yes, and she said, what have we reared? And, you know,
that's so dramatic.
I know, what have we reared to my dad, poor old dad? And he said, well, if that's what she wants to do, you know, and all of that. And, but, you know, I knew I wanted to do it. It was like a vocation. It really felt like that.
But then when you went on to enjoy such enormous success, and let's face it, enormous success, global success as an actress, she must have then been proud of you. Did she ever take the time to tell you? Did she have the opportunity to tell you how proud she was? Or?
No, but I knew she was pleased when I got a pension sorted out. That sort of made her very happy. But no, after she died, I found a folder of stuff in her flat, and it was all cuttings, all through my life, you know, as an actor. I know. It was really...
And the early days when you were in, I don't know, were you in rep? I know you were at the
Yes.
Everyman Theatre. You were
I was in Liverpool, yes.
That must have been pretty crazy back then, because what period we're talking about? Early 70s?
We were wild. I mean, never do. I don't think young actors ever. I mean, we used to do pub shows when I'd drink about 4 pints of Guinness before we started and through the show. And I was only like thin
Tiny.
as a rake and yeah. And other things were taken.
I heard you took LSD before going on stage once?
Well, I wasn't really before going on stage. I didn't realise that I would still be suffering the effects when I went on stage.
So who gave you that?
I can't tell you who's involved. The police might come.
But it was
see them or something. But
a party or something?
it was in the bistro at the Everyman Theatre downstairs. There were a lot of old reprobates down there, and we, they used to come down every night. And this guy said, "Do you want a bit of malarkey?" I said, because he was chatting me up. I said, "No, I'm sorry." And he said, "No, heaven, a tiny piece of heaven." Wow. I said, "What is it?" And he said, "A nice little party all of your own."
Which member of the Beatles was this?
I'm not telling you. Anyway, so he gave me, and he brought out this tiny thing, little teeny bit that looked like a piece of lead out of a pencil.
This would be a dot on a piece of paper.
Yes, you obviously know. And so I thought, oh, go on. I just thought it would be like a bit of fun.
Well, I've never tried LSD.
Oh, well, I don't know.
Was it?
Oh, yeah. Well, I took it. I thought, to hell with it. Took it. And then we said, right, we're going to go off on the town. I said, OK, yeah. And I thought, I could see them going, oh, wow, man. It was 1974. Oh, wow. And all this was going on. I thought, oh, for God's sake, I don't feel anything. And then I bent down to do my shoe-up, and the world went red. Right red. Oh, my God. I lifted my head up, and it was sucked back into my head. And everything was normal again. Oh, Jesus. It started.
Wow.
And then we all went to my flat. And I was lying on my bed, and on the wall was a poster of Marilyn Monroe. It was a famous one of her doing this to the camera. And anyway, so I was just lying there looking at it, and it was juddering about a bit. Like, it was doing a bit of this. And then suddenly, out of her mouth came her tongue.
Wow.
Only it wasn't like a tongue, it was like a snake's tongue. It was black and forked, and it went all over her face. And I said, look at that, look at that. And they said, what? They couldn't see anything, obviously. It was just me. I remember there were these things, retinal circuses that you saw. So I thought, oh, that's what it is. Anyway, I took notes and I looked away from it. But out of the corner of my eye, it was still doing it, even out of the corner of my eye. Oh, my God.
Wow.
Really cheap hearing.
Yeah.
Anyway, I had a matinee of a children's show the next day. That had to go in and do.
What were you doing on stage?
Pig and the Jungle with, it was a children's show, Brian Patton.
Right, yeah.
It was him, and I played an elephant in it.
I think we have a photograph of you in that elephant suit on stage there, I think. So
That's me.
that's pretty scary. But that's you in the elephant suit.
That's me. I mean, who needs acid?
I know.
Honestly.
You factor in that you're tripping while you're wearing that.
Oh,
that's as scary a thought as you can have.
It was boiling. It had sort of gone by then, but it was still a bit odd.
Wow.
Yeah.
OK, Julie's back on the big screen, a brand new film, and it's a true story, and it's an interesting choice for a true story. You play Paul Potts' mum.
I do.
Remember Paul Potts, who won Britain's Got Talent, of course? A great singer, great opera singer, and quite a kind of sad backstory, I guess, when he was a kid.
It's a tale of triumph over adversity, really.
And there's Paul himself, and he is played by one of our finest young comedians and actors.
James Corden.
It's a fun. I saw the film. I loved it. It's got a real heart. It's a very charming story. And it touches you emotionally as well. Yeah. So I guess that's the attraction for that kind of film, knowing there's a lovely story at the heart of it.
Yeah, and it's true. It's fairly truthful to his life.
It's out next Friday. You want to see Julie in a lovely, heartwarming film. It's called One Chance, starring her and James Corden. Here's a clip. I very much enjoyed it. I thought he was terrific, but I wanted more Julie in it.
Yes, quite right.
Julie, I love having you on the show. I'm so pleased you came back. It's so
Thank
lovely
you.
to see you again. And I loved hearing that. I'd never heard you talk about your mum like that before, and that really, that's very moving. It's really lovely. And you know this better than anyone else, but she must have been so proud of you.
Well, I think in her own... when Educated Rita the premiere was on back in 1982, she pushed a policeman out the way and said, that's my daughter up there.
That's all you need to know. How lovely to see you. One Chance opens Friday night. Next week, go and see it, ladies and gentlemen. Go and see it, if only for the fabulous Julie Walters. Thank you so much. Thank you. I'll get your earring. Hold on.
Oh, thanks,
So join me after the break when I'll be talking to Frank Lampard, Harry Redknapp and Mr Dizzy Rascal. Don't go away.